Hello YouTube. Hello. We're back. Custom puzzles. I have a recollection that there was a time when I had to do a lot of training on the bishop pair. So I think now's a good time to go through it again and tick this off of the spreadsheet. So assuming I've not gone past it already, which I have clearly. Is it bishop pair? Is that what it's called? Yeah, bishop pair. Here we go. 57%, but let's do the 400 to 900. Obviously, as prepared as ever, let's get some bits together to be able to mark off the 20 in a row that we need to do. Right, let's double check the rating. Yep, 4 to 9. Right, 20 in a row. Let's do this. White to move. Okay, so my queen is under attack and undefended. It says bishop pair, but I only have one bishop. Interesting. Okay. So what do we have? We've got the queen checkmating on g7. Is that it? Is that what we're looking at? That checkmate? I think it is. White to move. Right. Bishop pair. Oh. Fair enough, I'll take that. I'm not going to say no to that. That's the first one. Okay, white to move. It's another 400 difficulty. It's my kind of difficulty, I like that. So we've got bishop takes queen check. Bishop takes queen. Rook takes queen, check. And at some point, I think the queen has to go in and deliver some kind of checkmate alongside the bishop or protected by the rook, depending on who takes the rook, I believe. Let's stop believing and let's start calculating. So it takes the queen, check. Yes, that is correct. Oh, here we go. Fantastic. Great start. White to move. Oh, 834 difficulty. It's one of the harder ones. We've got the light squared bishop delivering check, which will then just be taken by the knight on f6. So we have another check with the queen going to d5, but that square is being attacked twice. Okay. Dark squared bishop takes the pawn on h6. No, let's consider some forcing moves. Check, and either king or the knight takes. Wow, I struggle with 834 difficulty puzzles. Okay, We've potentially got the light squared bishop to d3, attacking the queen. Why would I go to d3 and not b3? b3 looks better because I'm pinning the queen against the king. I think that's the better option. I think that's what it is, surely. Surely b3. Queen can't move. And that bishop can't be attacked. I'm just taking the queen, right? Yes. In what world would I not take the queen? Excellent. Got there eventually. Okay. Whenever I see knights near the king, I'm thinking of a fork, but there doesn't seem to be one, which is fine. So we do have a forcing move of knight to c7, queen takes, and then what? Ooh, knight to c7, and if the queen takes, I imagine my queen goes down to f7. Which I don't know if that's any good, because surely the king will just go to... So the king just goes to d8. Okay, which means I'm missing something. There's something I haven't seen. Ooh. Maybe knight takes knight on f6 check. And no matter if the pawn or the bishop takes, the queen still goes to f7 for checkmate. And even if the king moves, that's still checkmate. 8-13 is a difficulty, that sounds about right. Okay, we are getting there. I see progress on the horizon. Right, black to move. Haha. So the question is, which rook takes the knight? And I think it's the h1 rook, because there is nowhere for the king to run. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Whew. Black to move. I was thinking, I immediately thought pawn to g3. But I guess the bishop can take. So something, I see this dark squared bishop playing a role somewhere. Difficulty 733. Okay. Let's think about this. So I'm looking at the queen. Forcing moves with the queen would be queen takes knight. Bishop takes queen, so I'm confident it is not that. we have delivering a check with that pawn. If pawn goes to g3, I can't imagine the king will take because of the rook to g8. I don't know if is that a big deal? Because the king can then go to h3 afterwards. Yeah, queen couldn't then take. I don't think that works. I don't think. Or am I just winning a piece? Is it pawn to g3, and whoever takes, the queen can then take on e2. And everything else is protected. The only thing hanging is my a6 pawn. I'm assuming that's not a concern. I'm thinking. Let's try it. That's my only thought. So now I take that rook. Oh, excellent. Next up, white to move. So my queen's under attack, which means I either need to move her or deliver a check, and I don't see a check. Not with this knight. So the knight's not delivering a check. Where is this queen going? Or am I just blocking it with a pawn? That doesn't sound like a puzzle. Or is it? Maybe I am just blocking. Ooh, c4. That cannot be the solution. Or do I take the bishop? Well, that's interesting. Do I... Okay, so do I take the bishop with my knight? And if the queen moves, I take the other bishop. But if he takes with the pawn, I take the pawn and deliver check. I think that's it. Because then I'm up a pawn. Is that it? Is that seriously it? I'm up a pawn. It's a important pawn, don't get me wrong, but is that it? And then I just take back. Oh, I deliver check and then I can take the knight afterwards. Okay. Yeah, that was good. I didn't see the knight. Next. Just get my glasses. Right. White to move. Whew. So we've got a check with the queen on the H file. How's he defending that? Only with the rook, and we're at rook. only with the knight, and wherever the knight goes I can take. And so the king would, if the king moves, the queen can then come down to h7. I'll take, yeah, and then yes, I believe. Brilliant. This is looking promising. For white to move. I envisaged a fork with the knight on e7, but once the bishop takes, then what? Or am I just taking the knight with my queen? Queen takes and rook takes. That's hardly forcing, is it? That's not forcing to me. Must be a better move. Surely. And I'm guessing it is not g4 attacking the queen. That can't be it. So this one is a toughie. Unless it's knight to g3 attacking the queen. That there's just a multitude of good squares she can go to after that. Yeah, she's not trapped and there's no follow-up. Same with the pawn to g4. It's not ridiculously good. Okay, so dark squared bishop. Nothing really. Light squared bishop. Just got 2 squares to go to. Neither of them. So I'm looking at this knight. I'm looking at this knight delivering a check and then being taken by the bishop. And the only thing that does is open the light squared bishop to deliver a check. Either the king or the queen can take. And then what? I take the knight on e4. 2 pieces gone for the sake of a knight. That is not what I would describe as being good chess. Okay. What is the answer? Where am I meant to be going? Where else can these that knight? There's nowhere else worthwhile for him. It looks obvious. E7 looks great. It looks obvious, but once the bishop takes, I don't see much happening after that. Even if knight to f6 maybe, bishop still takes, and is also now protecting the knight on e5. I'm going to struggle to get through this one. I don't think I'm going to get this one. All I can see is queen takes e4. and I end up an exchange. Or is it up a piece? Queen takes, rook takes. I'm up a piece. That's it. That's all I can see. So assuming I take that knight, what could the queen do? There's nothing. There's no mate threat. Maybe it is just take the knight. Doesn't. The only one that makes sense to me, anyway. Okay. Rook takes. Oh, that was it. Okay. Well, we did get there. We did get there. Let's keep it going. Right. We've got. What kind of checks have we got? It looks like it's like a discovered attack on the queen, but not really worthwhile one. Bishop to c6 is check. Assuming he blocks with a bishop. There's a queen exchange. Oh no, there isn't. He blocks with a bishop. And ooh, bishop takes f7 check. And no matter where the king goes, I win the queen. Okay, that looks difficult to argue with. Okay, and I win the queen. Ooh. Great stuff. Great stuff. We're halfway there. That's 10. I was about to complain that I wasn't getting any easy ones, but 4-6-1. But they claim to be easy, but they never are. Except if it's black to move, then it's checkmate. Okay. That was more of a mating one than a bishop pair. I don't know about this bishop pair. I feel like it's pieces working in pairs more than a bishop pair. But, you know, I'm not going to complain. So, this is the easiest one they can give me. It's the easiest one, and I see no checks. I don't even see a fork. I see... Wow, I actually see nothing. Oh, I can see it. Actually, I see a fork with the knight going to... Knight going to e4. So if the queen moves... c4. If I go to e4... And the queen goes to d3. Taking the bishop isn't great. It's just an exchange. Because then queen takes c3. So after the queen moves, where will I go? Okay, so maybe that's not the move as much as it looks like the move. Perhaps it is not. Feels like I've had this position in games before. And I think I just moved the queen up a square to connect the rooks, to be honest. So, what are we looking at? Where can the light squared bishop go? Can attack the rook, which is a rook. Can attack the knight on f3. You'd think I'd know the pieces. I do know them, I promise you. What is going on here? Bishop. I still think it's the fork. I still think it's the knight going to e4, but it doesn't work. Nothing. I'm not achieving anything there once the queen moves. I don't even have a dark squared bishop. What else is there? Where can the queen go? The queen is not part of this puzzle. The knight on c6 takes a pawn or does nothing constructive, essentially. So I still think it's I can't see anything better than the fork. What happens when the queen moves there? What's the potential? Nothing. It just then is in the line of almost sight of my light squared bishop. So how would I move the knight somewhere? Okay, maybe the knight goes to f2 afterwards, forking the queen and the rook. And if the queen moves, I take the rook. And if the king takes the knight, then the bishop takes the queen. Oh. Well, that didn't even happen, so well, I'll just take the bishop then. Oh, all that calculation. Whew. White to move. White to move. So there's. Oh, okay. Looks like I'm literally just gonna delivery. Check. King goes to c8, and then what? I can't take the bishop. King goes to c8. Then the queen goes to e8. And the king has to go to c7. Then what, I'm just chasing. Well, the knight would be getting involved at some point. Or maybe the knight gets involved straight away. Maybe the knight goes to no. Maybe after the first check, the knight then goes to d6. Oh, that could be the one. I think that's it. And then I take Wunderbar. That's good. That is great. Right, black to move. Whew. Black to move. Okay, I don't like where that knight is on c5. Looks menacing. So I don't have a check. I don't even have an attack on the queen. I feel like I'm moving my light squared bishop because it's about to be taken foe free. And no way is that the puzzle. Moving that light squared bishop to c8. Because there's no follow-up, there's nothing. Ooh, unless the bishop takes that knight, pawn takes back, and then I take the dark squared bishop. And then I might piece up. Surely I'm going with that as a solution. Excellent. 740 difficulty. Right. White to move. So the knight he just moved is being attacked by both my bishop and my rook. So I'm assuming you have to decide which one to take with because of that pawn being left unprotected. Interesting, because I think the rook takes the bishop after all of that. However, that's interesting. So if the rook takes the knight, whether the rook takes the knight or the bishop takes the knight, it doesn't matter because pawn is still protected. So let's say rook takes knight, then his rook is definitely not going to take that pawn, surely, because it'll be down an exchange. The plot thickens. So it's just choosing between the two. So this looks like a guess at the moment, because if the... Right, what's wrong with the rook taking? I don't see anything wrong with the rook taking, because then I can take the knight, the second knight afterwards. Whereas if I take with a bishop, nothing really that bad happens, does it? He takes my pawn with either the knight or the rook. It doesn't matter. Actually, it does matter. If the rook takes the... Oh, does it? If the rook takes the knight and that bishop goes to b6, attacking the knight, attacking the rook. It's not really a big deal. Oh, it is a big deal because that... Oh, it is a big deal because that pawn is then attacked twice. And the rook can't come back to defend the pawn. So I think I have to take with the bishop first. Yeah, I think I have to take with the bishop first. Oh, that was... that was something. That was unexpected. So am I taking with the rook? So is it basically a guess, one or the other? What? And then I just take the bishop. What on earth? What did I do? What did I do? I took with the... What was the wrong? The wrong solution was taken with the... Take with the bishop was wrong. Because of d5. Because the bishop goes to d5. Yeah, and there's two attackers. And there's two attackers on that pawn. So essentially I had to choose... let's go back. So I had to choose the option whereby... where there wasn't going to be two attackers. Because if I take with the rook and the bishop goes to d5, the rook can then take the second knight and still protect the bishop. Okay. There. Fair enough. That was... I think that was difficult. It was 600 something, wasn't it? It was not meant to be... Yeah, 640. Well, we got up to 14 on bishop pair. I will update the spreadsheet and then we will get back to training next time. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you did better with me. Hope you played along. Until next time, bye.